Welcome to this great adventure of two sisters.
Absolutely not. Hey guys, welcome to the Regina Kids podcast. I am your host Maxie,
With her lovely younger sister, Rita the Ham.
and here on the podcast, as you can see, sibling relationships can be loving and sometimes a bit
Dramatic.
affect me, please, complicated. So join us every week as we explore all aspects of having a sibling.
Come be our sibling.
Yeah, exactly. Hello again. Welcome to another episode of Regina Kids Podcast. I am your host, Maxie.
I am your host, Rita.
And today's topic, like I said, on this podcast, we are going to discuss everything from love to life to family, relationships,
Ratchet Matics.
whatever. All everything in between. So
Oh
I
yeah.
know that like others and myself, you get to a certain age where things in the dating realm are a little different now.
As one of my friends said, the what does she call it? The single pool is full of piss. That's what she said.
And I know plenty of us women sit around with our girlfriends and cousins and family members or whatever and have conversations about, dating relationships. Like it's always a big topic on social media and just with all the different dating sites and with it being just different and how people communicate, because like I feel like we're in a time where it used to be people would have excuses of why they can't call you, pay phones, pagers, house phones, whatever.
Ooh,
But now we're in a
you
time
take it
where
back without
like
pagers.
I know, but now we're in a time where communication is like at the top of the list for a lot of people, meaning because there's really no way that somebody can say, "Oh, I wasn't able to reach you."
Listen, you can
Between
go to Starbucks with your Apple phone that's not on and get on Wi-Fi and call somebody on the WhatsApp app.
what if I don't have an Apple phone?
I don't know nothing about no Android, so send us a sib note about what you can do on an Android. But I think that those apps did, like, I know, like the WhatsApp or whatever, or Facebook Messenger will still work with Wi-Fi.
They do, but I'm just saying you put it out there like you was promoting for Apple, and not everybody is an Apple product
Well, you could take
user.
your cell phone and you whatever type of cell phone, even if it's a Windows, and you can go to
Anyway,
Starbucks. You
but
can go to
now
Starbucks with your Windows phone.
and use their free Wi-Fi basically. But in the era where you can text,
Mm.
email, call, message, jump in somebody's inbox to communicate through multiple
Go
apps.
down the DM.
um, it's just really to me no way that people are unable to communicate. I
Right.
know for me, being in my 40s, I really don't understand the whole text through a conversation when the phone is right there. Like, get some headphones, pick up the phone, do a voice. I mean, if you have an iPhone, you could do voice notes instead of just text messaging, just so that person can actually hear your voice and talk to you or whatever.
And also
But
understand the emotion, because a lot of times you really don't know how a person is feeling or how you should really take a text message. You know, you don't know how to take a text message or really trying to fill out the vibe of that person, or what's going on, or exactly what it is that they're trying to say to you. You know what I'm saying, via text message, versus if you hear that voice note, you know exactly how they feeling.
This is true. So, to jump right into the topic of the day, because if you clicked on this podcast and seen the title, you're kind of wondering, like,
Why y'all talking
okay, what?
education?
So, this was a subject that my sibling
I did.
uh, wanted to discuss, and I don't really I'll let her explain because I don't really know which way that she was trying to go with this when she decided to come up with this topic. But the name of this podcast definitely is Good Man versus Good, you know the rest.
Boy, I think the reason why I wanted this to be a subject is because you hear a lot of conversation of, like, they put the importance of a man having this great penis versus a man, an actual good man. Like, that would be the very first standard in which it is that they should have, versus looking at the man for who he is, and also, what I'm saying, how he's going to treat you, his communication, exactly what it is that he brings to the table, his morals, his thought process. Like, the very first thing you'll hear is, oh, do he got a good penis? Like, that's all you worried about? Because his
I
penis
mean,
ain't no bills. Like,
I mean, it might depending on his job,
I mean, you got OnlyFans right now.
but maybe I don't know where you hear this conversation at, but maybe during that conversation, maybe that's one of the things that's high up on their list of things that they want when they're in search of a man.
I mean, that could be very true as well, but at the same time, I don't think that should be the very first top point on a list. This
Hmm.
is my opinion. Just my opinion.
So, siblings, this would be a good segue into where you guys could really send us a sib note regarding, like, in the dating pool, like, when you make out your list of what you want in a man, is that good penis at the top of your list? Do it fall somewhere in the middle? Like, drop us a good sib note and let us know, like, are women missing the mark when we set out our ideal list of the type of man that we're trying to date and the one that we're trying to find when we put that at the top of our list? And you could drop us a sib note at Regina's Kids Podcast at gmail.com. Now
For
that
me, I think a lot of times too, I just like asking you uncomfortable questions, which is maybe something that you wouldn't regularly discuss. So, Maxie, what's on your list?
I
Is it
definitely won't be
the man, or is it the good penis?
I won't be putting my list out into the world
Is that
because
on your list?
I think that having a good chemistry with somebody and you guys being really having a good chemistry and being sexually attracted to each other and having good sex at some point in your relationship, is that important? Most definitely. I don't know exactly on my list where it would fall because I'm not putting my list out into the world. And the reason for that is I feel like when women are dating, like especially if you're single and you're trying to date and you have multiple guys that you're talking to or whatever, when they ask you, "Oh, what are you looking for?" Sometimes I think that if
They
they like you enough, they will become
they'll
that
conform.
type of person that
Commit.
you're looking for to be with you. And to me, that's kind of like their fake representative because that's not even their representative. They're just doing it to catch you and ring you in. So I definitely won't be putting you know A through Z out into the world for people to be like, oh, okay, I'll be that for her, and then you find out months later that they're nothing like the person that you we're actually looking for. I think that in this day and
I think
time
some
that
people even they would. It's sometimes they hold on to that even for a year or two.
however long they hold on to it, I don't think
Yeah.
that, in my opinion, that's not something that you should put out into the world. Like it's a ton of other questions that you could be asked, or a ton of questions that I'm known to ask a ton of questions, but I think it's a ton of questions that you could ask a person that you're potentially talking to get to know them before you just, hey, what are you looking for? Like generally, if the question is what are you looking for, I think of more of that is like, are you dating with a purpose? Are you out here
Mhm.
to just casually date? Are you looking for a fuck buddy? Like what that's what I think of when somebody asks, like,
What?
what are you looking for? I'm not going to give you, like, oh, he needs to be tall. I need you to be this. I want him to be that. I want him to. No, absolutely not. I think in this day and age, it's like a double standard because women will date somebody with the potential and not the actual stuff versus, you know, I feel like men don't really date women that have the potential to work or the potential to be this and that and that and this. They kind of have their requirements up high and we just kind of settle. So, in that sense of the word, I just feel like in this dating pool, like, don't date anybody that don't have the things that the basic requirements that you have or the basic requirements that you desire for your mate to have. Like I think people should really know what they want before they just jump out here in the world. Like if you
I
are
agree with that.
dating or if you're dating with a purpose, you get out here date people with a purpose. Like make sure you let them know that. Like I'm dating to be married, or I'm just casually dating, trying to have fun, or I'm looking for a fuck buddy, whatever your preference or situation is. So
Right. But I mean, even going back to what you were stating in reference to the actual potential, I think in my experience, I've done that. And that is the absolute worst thing that you can ever do because you can see the potential in the person. You can see all their strengths. You can see where they could potentially go. But if they don't see it for themselves, it's a complete waste of time.
a complete waste of time.
It is.
Well, potentially to some people, maybe not. Like if you guys started off young dating and you seen that they had the potential to be a great man and y'all been together 10, 15 years, you might want to stick it out with them and help them fulfill their dream. Maybe
I mean, I think when it comes to the line of in that aspect, you saying it that way, when it comes to the aspect of the potential, depending on what age group you are in, I mean, the lines are different, the rules change because if you're young and you see the potential and we having a conversation and look, this is my goal, I'm going to college for this, I'm doing that, that's completely different to being in your 30s and you can see the goals of this person and you're trying to push them and push them and push them, but they don't have that same motivation and they don't see it for themselves. That's something that's completely different.
that could be true too. But it's a lot of people that are now in their late 30s, early 40s, and even in their 50s that are like shifting different career goals and stuff like that. So in your opinion, would that still apply to them potentially doing something different?
I mean,
Because
no, because if they're shifting a career goal, that's meaning they already had a career in the first place. That's two completely different things.
okay, so what else were you thinking when you came up with this topic?
I think it has to do with um the maturity level as well. I think a lot of times in our 20s, that's our play period. you're learning about yourself, life, and all of those other things. So that might be a time where, what I'm saying, you're just thinking about the good penis. But later on in life, a lot of times, once you learn yourself as a woman and things like that, once y'all get into that bedroom anyway, you still have to learn your partner. So even if they may have been mediocre, once your heartstrings is tied into it, and then later on they actually learn you, that's a whole totally different thing altogether.
So you're saying that if you're not emotionally involved with a person, then it's going to be bad penis anyway. Is that your process or your thought behind it?
I guess no, not necessarily, because you cannot be emotionally involved. I've experienced great Wonker while not being emotionally involved. That's just exactly what it was. What I'm
Great
saying,
what?
huh?
Great what? What
Wonker.
you say?
I was being trying to be PG-13. Or as my niece would say, a Peter Whacker. Um, without being
Jeez.
emotionally involved. What I'm saying is that don't miss miss your marker with a good man just only basing it off of whether or not if he has a good penis, because a lot of things that he don't know he can be taught.
So you're into like training somebody.
I
Because what
it's
if
not,
you
I am not
jump?
saying you gotta
I mean,
completely,
but no, but what
it's
if
not
you jump
completely
straight?
training them.
What if you jump into a relationship with somebody and y'all jump and y'all have the love and this and that and whatever, and it's whack?
Then you can
Are you
then you
supposed
should be
to?
in y'all should be able to be an adult and enough to have that conversation, because I think a lot of men don't understand the art of, what I'm saying, making love or having real intimacy, or and then understanding that each woman is not the same. What you did with your last relationship or with your very first partner is not the thing that you can do with that next partner. You know what I mean? Like, each person is different, so you have to take that time out to understand, learn, listen, have open dialogue and conversation about intimacy.
Hmm. But again, what would you do if it's still whack?
What, after having all of those conversations?
Pretty much.
I don't know, because that should fix the problem, unless he just literally like not open to you saying what it is that you're saying.
Hmm. So, what do you think? And this could be another side
Unless
note for you guys. What?
I said, unless they got a medical issue, but they tongue still work though.
I, okay. Um,
What? It's the truth.
jeez. Um, Siblings, drop us another sib note as to what you think makes a good man to you, or if there's any guys, what do you think makes a good woman to you? Like, in your opinion, and that could be averagingkids podcast@gmail.com. So, Rita, tell since this was your subject, what's a good man to
Why
you?
why couldn't it be your subject?
Because clearly
She
I
I
didn't make this
would not,
subject.
never. You said what's a good man to me? A good man to me would be a good partner. So it's just like having the number one thing for me is communication. So, what I'm saying, having that communication and dialogue with each other and having all of those hard conversations so that y'all can be able to get a good understanding of each other. Num like laughter is a big major thing for me as well. And honestly, just someone that's my friend.
So that's so laughter, communication, and friendship makes a good man to you. It's only three
Yeah.
attributes.
Well, I mean,
Everything.
other attributes as well. I mean, I got to give out my whole list because the thing is, for me, is like at the end of the day,
No,
like,
it's your definition of
oh,
what you consider a good man to
well,
be.
my definition of everybody definition of a good man is different. So I can only go by what's for me.
That's
You know
why I
what I'm
said
saying?
your
Like
definition.
make it, the communication, the respect, love, laughter, friendship, all of that is like the most important things for me.
So,
Are like the most important things for me, because like where I'm at in my life, I think about when I'm old. When you take away the sex, when you take away the mobility and all of that, and y'all just two old ass people and y'all sitting in each other rocking chairs, all you gonna have at that point in time is friendship and conversation and stories and companionship at that time. I'm gonna be with someone that's like that I can do that with. That's what I think about.
okay. So, whether you're out here looking for a good man or some good, D, just make sure that you're doing what's best for you. You're doing what makes you happy at the end of the day.
Most definitely.
Don't I feel like, just take your time, get to know people, and make sure that you're making the right decisions for you. Don't let people pressure you into what they feel should be for you. Um,
Hmm.
Sometimes everybody don't, maybe you just want the good deed. Maybe it's not, not looking for a long term thing, or uh,
Be honest.
maybe you want just the companionship of a person around you or whatever. So, good man or good deed, I think you should just do what's best for you at the end of the day. So, what would be your sib note out to your siblings today, whether they're looking for a good man or a good deal, or just, they're here for a good time, not a long time, whatever.
Honesty is strength. I so like for me, I say be honest with yourself. Be honest with whoever it is that you're entertaining at the moment or looking to entertain. Just be honest. Tell them exactly what it is that's in your mind, in your heart, right at that moment, so that they know. And by doing that, you're giving them you're letting them make their choice. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're honest and you let that person know up front exactly what it is that's going on with you, you're giving them that opportunity to have a choice. Don't take away a person's choice. So that's would be my sib note.
Honesty and trust, guys. Honesty and trust. Um, this
And
is
what
the and what?
choice?
Oh, okay. You didn't let me finish, but okay.
Oh, my sorry.
Sure you are. Um, Again, good man versus good D. I think it's just optional. The prayer is for anybody out there that's searching to be in a good relationship. I would hope that you get both. You know, um, prayers go up, so blessings come down. So, um, you know, put your list out there into the world of to the Most High, and uh, you speak positivity into the world, and positivity will come back. So, Anything else you want to conclude on your subject?
Good luck on that journey.
Again, drop us a save note. This has been the Regina Kids podcast. You could drop us a note at Regina Kids podcast at gmail dot at gmail.com. And like always, we're going to continue to glow through whatever it is we're going through. And thank you guys again for joining us.
Bye, guys.